Today on the Brad Link, we're talking all about how to choose your wedding date. First and foremost, there's definitely some things that you need to consider. If you want to, you can make it easy and just pull out a calendar. First, look at important holidays. National holidays, Christmas, religious holidays, any type of holiday that people might be celebrating. Some of those you're going to want to consider because it can impact your guest count. For example, if you get married on Memorial Day weekend, some people might have long standing traditions or vacations pre planned and they're not going to be able to attend. Then you need to look at significant holidays for you, your fiance, and your families. Consider anniversaries, graduations, birthdays, and don't forget about other weddings that might already be planned. Next, you're really going to want to consider seasonality and weather. Think about if you want to get married indoors or outdoors. You can even check online for past temperatures in your area. And if you're a destination wedding, never make assumptions. Always check the weather. You want to make sure that it's going to be what you expect. And then the next thing you're going to think about is sports schedules. If your fiance is a sports fan, you definitely want to consider making sure that you're not getting married on a game day for them. You got to have a heart. Nobody wants to get married on Super Bowl Sunday, and nobody wants half of their wedding prep day taken up by the guys crowded around a TV trying to figure out what the score is for the game. Next, of course, you're going to want to consider work. Of course, accountants should never get married right in the middle of tax season. And also, often I see a lot of teachers that opt for summer weddings because they're out of school. Look at your work schedule and think about how much time you can get off of work during certain times of the year and see if it's going to be enough time for you to be able to request off and be awarded those days. Next, you're going to want to consider peak times versus the off season. The most popular wedding month used to be May, but it actually recently switched to October in the past few years. During peak seasons, wedding professionals are more likely to be booked already, and they may charge premium prices. Considering months that are not as popular in your area may offer you some more opportunity to work with different wedding professionals that you would like to work with. Also, you can save a little bit of money, and it might be a little bit easier for other guests to attend because they don't have tons of other weddings on their schedule either. Next, you want to think about your honeymoon. Can you take the time off? Do you have enough time to take off for your wedding and then the honeymoon? And is this a good time to go to wherever you're planning to go to? Don't worry too much about it because if you're okay with it, you can always schedule your honeymoon at a later date when the prices are cheaper, the weather is better, or if you can't take all that time off of work at once, when you can get off work to go. Next, you want to think about your planning time and how long you want to be engaged. You don't want to rush the wedding planning process because it can be pretty tricky and it can be a little bit stressful. So, of course, the more time you have, the less stressful it can be. But also, you want to consider, do you have enough time to save for paying for your wedding? Spacing out your engagement can give you some more time to add some more money to your budget. Next, you want to consider your guests. How far will they have to travel? Is there enough time for them to request off work? Are their kids going to be in school during that time? And do they have enough time to plan and save money to attend if it's going to be a long distance or a lot of money for a destination wedding? The best way to start with your calendar is first to narrow it down by season. And it's okay if you have two options right now. So you might be okay with a spring wedding and a fall wedding while you're just getting started looking at venues. But if you can, next you want to narrow it down by month and then choose a day. Specifically, I mean a day, a Saturday, a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, not necessarily a date. This is because the more flexible you are, the more likely you're going to have different options for venues that are going to be available to you. When you're looking at different days to get married, of course, Saturday is always going to be the most expensive at any venue that you go to because it's the most sought after. But also consider Sundays and Fridays can be great, and you could probably get an extra sweet deal if you get married between a Monday through Thursday. If you have more options whenever you visit your venue, they're going to be more likely to accommodate you. And that way the venue that you absolutely love might be available if you have more than one date in mind. So keeping it flexible can definitely help you. For more expert wedding planning advice, just follow us at thebridalink.com.